because if we see only one object which represents the ecological destruction, that would be a mere representation. But in both of the works, we see, that's why I refer to your work as multi-layered, because you are sharing the destruction and the process of toxication of the landscape. And by layer, we learn about the process by interacting with the objects and the images you are sharing with us in your artwork. So it needs reading.
Yeah, it needs reading on the one hand, it's right, but I always hope, like, with all that intellectual, bias that you also can bring with me, that's only my own perspective, and maybe that's that's the production process of a piece or so. But I also always hope that people just look at my pieces and associate them with their own feelings, emotions, memories, because I'm very interested in your projections and in your ideas, that how does that, for me, an artwork works if it addresses you. And I'm hoping that through an aesthetic approach you're kind of able to create that moment in yourself, and then you maybe start to think about some things, because I think it's more about engagement with a certain thing that makes you active or activates you, because it's about the process and the catalytic idea of, like, maybe that's also what you said, like that idea of when you say about the Geesier thing, and where is the activist and where is the artist. But I think that activist or activating aspect, I think, is very interesting. I mean, because, that's...
But at the time it was quite a powerful feeling, probably, right? Just awareness for something changing. Yes. What do you think?
People usually don't like to hear the pessimistic idea views of this kind of, but currently I'm a bit pessimistic about this idea in freedom of choice in Turkey, and the values of certain things. So we will see. But if we go this way, I think things are not going to come up really well for the citizens. I think this is an idea. So we need to we really need a change, but in real terms of change.
Let's plant some trees.
Yeah, that's plans. So we need to we need to get united really well, and we need to change the perception of the humanity. I think it's not a problem in Turkey or in America. If we call Trump or if we call Erdogan, it's just there's a problem within the perception of humanity. I think.
Yes.
No, it's very true.
So,
that's very much on point what you just said there. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because in the end, the whole topic is about humanity. Of course, the question is, we're always talking about nature, but actually what we are referring to also is humans. Because this is, in the end, because we keep on saying that, we keep on making this distinction between human and nature, but in the end, we are just a part of it.
As I'm an artist also, and what I decided to do at least, and because I saw so many problems in the world, and as an artist it's not possible to work with all the problems, because we have so many problems currently in the current time. So what I decided to do actually work on the perception of the humanity, because there's one thing that we are missing, but I don't know what it is, but I think we should work on to find that problem.
Maybe it's also about like rethinking like rules, like Andreas' work, where you really like start from scratch, where you really wonder like, okay, of course we kill insects, because even if we would try not to, we would still do it. But it's more the question like, how do we decide that something is worth less than us, and how do we make these hierarchies? How do we build them up? And people in big cities also tend to be very sarcastic and very cynical about all this, but in the end of the day, it is about this sort of naive idea, I think, to like, create life instead of destroying it. And green being a representation of this idea somehow. But reformulating maybe a movement that had a pretty bad reputation. Yes. It's a little bit like this whole feminist thing. Feminism has a really bad reputation, but maybe it just needs to be reformulated. And it's a little bit like the same about environmentalism. Maybe it's just the concept itself that somehow seems to be something bad, but maybe Gezi just showed that. Yeah, maybe just uncool, but maybe Gezi showed very much that it's nothing to do with cool or not, right? I mean, we took the title, of course, from this dystopian movie, and now we are being a bit negative, I think. But we would also like to open the discussion a bit more if you want to have a take on this, or like that must be the reason why you were here. So of course we are very interested we are very interested in in your opinions, basically.
Well, yeah, but you just said growth on its own may not lead to the best environment that humans create. I definitely agree. To emphasize it, I would also tell the fact that development and growth are different things actually. So growth on its own does not lead to development. And to put green transition on the whole realistic trajectory, unlike some others of you argued that it's a romantic movement. In my view, it should be more of a kind of a realistic movement. And it's related to the idea of development actually. Well, if we keep harming the green, then in turn it will harm us and it will seize our development. So in that aspect, it's a realistic movement in my view. It's not a romantic movement because it's related to our very existence in some way. And I would also like to argue that growth is also important. And for instance, like here, we are arguing on an artistic and artistic thing of political economic motivations, and to try and demonstrate that we apply that. After it goes out, I mean, there is no livestock to feed on. So in a way, actually, we are killing it to demonstrate something. So it's a tool for us to develop our artistic senses. So it's acceptable in my view to a certain extent. So to a point, that extent, the degree of it is the main, the focal point that we should focus on in my view.
When is he going to Kido?
As you see on the contract,
He has to have food. Yes. They have to leave like fruit or whatever somehow out, and they have to make sure that he will have something.
But meat also, because he's not a vegetarian. That's right. That's true. He's free to choose.
you can leave a diver here from contract.
Yes.
But if I remember correct, I'm of the legal field actually. In the contract, it said that they are not reliable if anything happens to him. So it's kind of still in the hands of the owners of the gallery.
Yes. Good point. That's true.
Which is kind of the situation how the legal system works
Yeah.
all over the world. Actually, it's still in the hands of the decision makers.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, generally, of course.
Or the powerful side, so to say.
Yeah. It has quite a symbolic value, the contract in itself, of course. Yeah.
So it's very good actually.
Yeah.
Legally as well.
Yeah, totally. That's true.
How it's not working in most of the cases when there's actually political power in essence decides what to do, in which case they are political power still,
Yes.
the gallery owners. They will keep them out.
Does anybody have any questions actually to the artists or?
I wanted just to say, because you said it's like a little bit negative what we say, but I think it's actually quite positive, because as long as there's a discourse and as long as we can talk about it and people are open to talk about it, it's actually a positive thing, even if it's only a small thing, it's always good.
Yes, I think so too. And I mean, for us, again, like judging from outside, outside the Gezi protests in this case, it also felt to me that, of course, the big question is like, are we imposing something? Are we romanticizing something? Or because, as you say, it is real already. So it's not nothing to do with romanticism. Maybe it's just something that we have to accept is already there as a movement in itself, and it has maybe already happened. And I think this is, well, for myself, something that I hope that comes out of this show also, that the more we talk about it, the more it becomes something good and something, you know, that it's like dragged out of this bad discourse of environmental movements, but that it becomes a valuable, real topic that people have to talk about.
I think it's very, just to make one remark, I think what you're saying, like the bad discourse about environmental movement, I find it very strange to say it like this or to hear it, because in a way, somehow society managed to really detach us so much from our dependency on the planet that we actually really think that we can survive on ourselves.
Yes.
So funny.
So superior.
You know what I mean? I mean, just like
of course.
that ideology that is put in your mind to see that you can breathe without air and that you can survive without water that is clean. So funny.
Or that you, or that you can make
whatever
kids
it might.
without fertility.
You know,
whatever.
all the issues, and then you say like, as if it was always there, and as if you would, as if that system wouldn't react to your interventions. I mean, I think that's a very crucial point, and I think it's also no up-down regulatory process. I mean, I think it's always about I think I want to raise the question probably to my colleagues as well, and to you as curators, like doing such a show. I think you have to face the question that we are in the art field, it's very, very small, and we are very lucky that there are maybe a lot of people, or some people, that are getting inspired by this. And might this change? I mean, I never have the intention to actually change something with my work. I don't see that as a direct consequence of my work to do it. I mean, because I think I can just like, I think not my work, but more like me relating to the world in the way I'm relating to the world, proposing a certain view and opening it up to the discussion with others is what I think is very interesting. I mean, maybe you copy me, or maybe I would love to copy my idea of like sharing another perspective and sharing another aspect, and then we can talk to each other, and I think then out of this discursiveness you can create something that I would say change, but if that saves the planet, I don't know.
I don't think it's also necessary, like generally, but I think the power of an artist is often that they see the world with different eyes, and they have a higher sensitivity at an earlier stage to things that are appearing. And I often see that with artists, that they just feel the notion of something happening, and then they work with it and they display it, and they don't necessarily want to give an opinion about it. But meanwhile, they move on, and we start like thinking about it and contemplating about it, and the artist is already somewhere else at that stage. So I think it's good.
Yeah, maybe the potential of opening a discussion is the main function, or not the main platform in a way. So that could lead a discussion and the change. That's and also, as you were saying, to play with the perception of some certain issues that could lead a change. You know, that's the thing that I want.
But I also think
the artworks in this show, I mean,